Hello and welcome to episode 186 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. Today we're talking about rejection. Rejection is really tough at the best of times, but in sales and selling it can be perceived to be, at least, something really terrible, because first of all it means that you're not going to get any money, which obviously stings a little bit. It's not very nice, but people have got rejection confused. People think rejection is people rejecting them as a person, when actually we reject offers. And there's something about rejection that will make you feel better about it if you can learn from it. But let's go to this rejecting offers, rejecting people thing. I always use this example of, if I go to a client's offices, for example, and they offer me a cup of coffee, I say, yes, white, thank you, no sugar, sweet enough, ha ha ha, aren't I hilarious? I have my cup of coffee. If somebody else comes along from the same company and says, oh, James, would you like a cup of coffee? I'm all good, thanks. Got a cup of coffee here. Thanks all the same. I've turned them down. I've rejected them. But I've not rejected them as a person. I've rejected their offer. I don't need a cup of coffee. I've got one. If I'd drunk it, I'd say, yeah, I need one. Another one would be great. Thanks very much. So you have to remember that in sales and selling, we reject offers. We don't reject people necessarily. Obviously, it's not 100%, but in the main, we reject offers, not people. In terms of this episode of the podcast, rejection for me is a redirection. If we can learn from it, we can improve. Why didn't that person want, and it's a banal example, but why didn't that person want a cup of coffee? Oh, it's because they already had a cup of coffee. So going forward, we need to try to find people that don't have a cup of coffee and to sell to them. Now, I know that sounds oversimplistic and stupid, but is it? Is it? Do you understand the circumstances of your buyers, the right time, what triggers them and motivates them to move, when it is appropriate for them to buy, when it isn't, any competing compatibility issues, any decision-making issues, things like that. A big part of rejection is actually just understanding your buyer, who they are, where and when and how to find them and what to say, etc. Get that dialed in, get that right, makes things a lot easier. Makes saying yes for the buyer a lot easier, because you're coming to somebody that is in need of what you do at the right time, saying, would you like a solution to your problem? And they would say, yeah, please, that'd be great. So just remember, rejection is a redirection. Rejection is a redirection. It's a clue. It's telling you you're not quite doing something right here, and we just need to tweak it. So in my example, you're offering coffee to somebody that's already got one. Well, I suggest you don't do that again, right? So rejection is a redirection. It's about tweaking the things and adjusting as you go. And that's why for me, I'm not scared of rejection anymore. I welcome it, because if I'm not going to sell to that person, I'm going to learn something from them and I'm going to improve. Either way, I'm better than before I spoke to them and had that conversation, right? And if you can keep that mindset in mind, you'll do well. And never again will you feel overwhelmed and fearful of rejection. Actually, you can embrace it, and actually, you might seek it out, because the more rejection you have, the more redirection you have, the closer you'll get to actually selling to people, so long as you learn each time and you adjust and you tweak as you go. Okay, that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow, as I check my notes, 187, definitive language. We're going to be talking about definitive language tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. Well, I'll absolutely tell you everything you need to know about definitive language. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please go to sellingconfidencescore.com. In less than 2 minutes, you can answer 20 yes/no questions and be scored across 4 main areas of selling. It will tell you how well or how badly you might be doing in each of those areas, but more importantly, it will give you an action plan, a free, instantly actionable action plan of how to improve in each of those areas. So sellingconfidencescore.com. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.